Hey everyone, Mtashed here, and today we're going to be looking at Sturm and Drang. Now, I probably should have reviewed these a long time ago, but we're doing it now. Don't sue me! Now, Sturm and Drang kind of coexist. They help each other out. This is also in slow motion. It might look a little weird, but don't worry about it. Together Forever will refill the magazine of Sturm when you get a kill. Also, because it's an energy weapon, as you get kills with the Drang, you'll actually increase the damage of Sturm, as you can see in the perk I'm about to show you here in super slow motion. So, the kills from the energy weapon will grant bonus precision damage until next reload. So, if you get a bunch of kills with the Drang, you switch to the Sturm and you're going to do extra precision damage, which is pretty sexy. Now, the other perk, the exotic perk, that's what sets Sturm apart from the Drang. You see, Sturm can really be used with any energy weapon, because when you get a kill with Sturm, it will reload the energy weapon. So, if you've got a really good scout rifle you want to use, you can just use the Sturm and help reload that. However, that being said, as soon as you go back to the Sturm, you're just going to have to reload it, so what's the point? For the most part, I wouldn't recommend using these weapons unless you're using them both together. But I also wouldn't really recommend these weapons because they're so close range that in a lot of PvE situations, you're going to feel handicapped. Is it a good exotic when it works? Yeah, and in my opinion, it's actually better in PvP than PvE. Sturm has some overall great stats for a hand cannon. It also is able to 3-tap someone if you hit them in the head, and if you get a kill with your sidearm and then switch to it, you can actually 3-tap them, but with one of them being a body shot, which is pretty damn cool in my books. Drang is actually a pretty damn good sidearm as well. I found myself winning quite a few duels, and in some cases, I was dueling up against Last Hope or The Last Dance, which are some of the best dueling weapons in the game. Did I maybe catch the guy off guard a little bit? Who knows? But I felt like the Drang was a pretty damn good sidearm overall, and I didn't feel handicapped while using it. With the hand cannon, Sturm, sometimes I felt a little bit off with it. I still need to get used to the reticle. Maybe I'm missing a shot here and there, but I didn't feel amazing when using it. But when I was using Drang, the sidearm, I felt like, yeah, this is a good sidearm. I enjoy this. I like this. You can see I'm going to push in here and I just run into these guys and yeah. So, I mean, that's proof right there. It's good, right? Obviously, when you're using a hand cannon and a sidearm, you don't have a lot of range, so there were situations where I felt like I wanted more range. I wish that I had something like a scout rifle or pulse rifle to deal with targets at a distance, but when using the intended range, both of these weapons are pretty good. I like them together. As a combination, they're pretty strong, but I wouldn't give these a top tier rating by any means. Even though I say they're better in PvP, and they are good in situations, I would say as an overall loadout, this is like a 6 out of 10. There's just so many situations where scout rifles are going to dominate you, when other sidearms may outduel you, when a better hand cannon like Better Devils is around shooting you in the dick. I'm not in love with them. It's okay, it's good, but there's no way I can argue that these are top tier PvP weapons. As for PvE, the biggest issue with these weapons is stronger enemies like high-value targets, strike bosses, public event bosses, things like that. There are a lot of situations where you can't get the exotic perk to proc, you can't get the guns reloaded, and while, yes, I could have probably grenaded this thing or meleeed it or whatever, it doesn't have as much value against these stronger targets. However, when you run into a bunch of lesser enemies and you're able to kill a bunch with your hand cannon, switch to your sidearm, kill a few more, and continually reload your weapons, you're constantly dishing out damage, you're constantly killing enemies. If you have something like the Devour perk up on a Void Walker, you could be the guy that just runs and guns and kills all the ads. Kill all the dregs, kill all the hive, whatever it might be. You've got 2 guns, one of them's golden, one of them's called Sturm, which is a cool name, I guess. But overall, if I'm really looking at these weapons, the only time I feel that they're of excessive potential, you know, they're actually like, oh yeah, this is good, this is valuable, is when you're killing these lesser enemies. And I mean, you can kill lesser enemies with any weapon in the game, so does it matter that much? I don't know. Especially when you're using an exotic slot to do it, because I could use the Merciless and melt bosses instantly. I could use the Wardcliff Coil and do more AoE damage. I could use the Fighting Lion and not do anything, because that gun sucks dicks. It sucks dicks more than these guns. These ones are actually usable, they actually have some value, but I wouldn't say they're amazing by any means. Once again, in PvE, I give them like a 6 out of 10. I think they are slightly above average. You know, because there is the synergy there, there's some things you can do with these weapons that you can't do with other ones, but once again, range becomes an issue. If there's a Vandal sniping you across the map, then I hope your teammate can deal with them, because you're not going to be able to. I think that they have a purpose here and there, but these things aren't amazing. Now, my honest opinion, my final tip for these is use them as infusion material. The longer you wait to do the quest line, the higher power level that these are going to have. So, if you're making a new character on PC or something like that, or you're making a new character, do the quest line later on. It's going to be higher power level, and then infuse it into something like the Better Devil's hand cannon, which is, in my opinion, the best hand cannon in the game. Then, get your Drang and infuse it into something like the Last Hope or the Last Dance, which are both extremely good sidearms. I know, it kind of sounds weird, getting these exotics just to infuse them, but you can always get these back from your vault later on at a lower light level if you just want to use them. But for early on, I'd say infuse them. That's it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys soon. Make sure you watch the video on the left and the right, and then I'll kiss your lips!